What is going on, everybody? My name is Bobby Sampson. His name is Mr. Chance Michael, remote location. How are you, buddy?
Doing pretty good yourself.
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. We are hot off the heels of Monday Night Raw. Um, wow, average show at best, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I love the main event, man. It's the best main event I've seen in a while in a row. That what do they call that? Moonsault battery thing, whatever.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
like a
sick.
moonsault backflip kind of.
They called it a moonsault battery or whatever they call it. Move. It was a sick move.
Man,
It
I
was,
know. I mean, it makes sense. Logan Paul should be in the Elimination Chamber. He
oh,
won't win
absolutely.
it, but it's good to have him in there, right? So,
Yeah,
from
it
that
was, oh, it was
perspective.
all right.
Yeah, yeah. No, but
Yeah,
otherwise everything
moonsault battery. God, that's what they call that. Yeah.
moonsault battery god.
No, moonsault battery, and they said, "God damn!" After so moonsault battery.
Oh.
Cool move. I've never seen that on Raw, and I can't even remember if I've ever even seen that on Raw.
With the cruiserweights more so. Not so much
Well,
at the
Ray's so small; he's easy to do that with, right?
well, that's it. I mean, remember Kevin Nash throwing him into the into one of those
The
little
truck like a
portals,
lawn dart.
right? I
I'm
mean,
saying
so
right now, I said this before, we've seen it on Raw. Logan Paul and CM Punk are going to have a match at Mania. You can already feel it. The tension, the old guy versus the new young brash guy. I think they're going to go one on one at Mania. You can already
well,
see it.
you know what? You might have something, and you also might have had something when you were talking about Drew McIntyre, Seth, and Punk, or
Reigns,
Seth and sorry, who?
Reigns.
Reigns. No,
Yeah,
no, not Roman Reigns. Drew, Kevin Owens, and Seth forming a faction of sorts. Um, you were mentioning that, and it kind of makes sense, right?
yeah. I
Like
did say that. Yeah.
I can see something like that happening after Mania, though. But the other thing that
Dude,
I've heard
think about
also,
this. This story writes itself. Logan Paul and CM Punk are polar opposites. Here you got a gym rat. Here you got a successful businessman. CM Punk is the complete opposite of all that stuff. This guy grew up in sleeping in his van, sleeping on dirty mats. Came up the hard way. Looks like a homeless guy. Logan Paul's a pretty in shape guy. If you get Hulk Hogan to manage Logan Paul after what CM Punk said about Hulk, you could those guys could steal the whole show with that story alone.
but it's potential there, right? Hogan's
Yeah,
got so much heat on him as it is right now, and it's natural heat, right? It's nothing that he's had to do or create himself. So I mean that the potential and the possibilities are endless. The one thing that I do know, and I don't know if this is going to actually happen, but this is what I've been hearing, is that John Cena will probably, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, but John Cena will probably go on to win the Elimination Chamber and challenge Cody for his title.
he has to. Nobody else should win that. That's
Right?
they're going to write another story like last year. Cody finishing the story. Now it's going to be John Cena chasing the guy who finished the story to get championship number 17. So it
And
makes
the reason,
sense. That's the match to make. You have to make that.
well, we already know we got the first match in the books for Mania now. We know it's going to be Gunther versus Jay.
Yeah,
Um, that probably headline night one, probably, I would think.
could be. Yeah,
Right? I
I
mean,
assume so.
they had both titles on the line on night two in the opener and the closure last year with Seth and Drew opening up night two. But I mean, depending on how the rest of the card goes, we will know, sort of a deal. It looks like someone's sticking their head in there, man.
Yeah, I heard the sweet sounds. So, but yeah, no, I don't know. They might do a women's match for night one main event. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then probably Tiffany versus Charlotte.
Dude, Charlotte's not getting any love from the WWE universe. They're booing her. They don't like her. They can't stand her.
But she came in trying to be a face, but I mean, she's a natural heel, man. She is what she is, right? So
They might boo this. They might boo this main event and change it like they changed Cody versus Rock, or sorry, Roman versus Rock last year. This is how much heat and hate the IWC has for Charlotte Flair. So they might switch this main event up. It's not set in stone yet.
nothing set in stone except one
No, I'm
match,
just saying
right?
because I think they're going to change it up because Charlotte's not getting any love here.
Well, I mean, Charlotte's not supposed to get any love. She's going to probably go in as the heel anyways, right? So, I
No, but
mean,
like that's like there's heels that you hate, like they love to hate, but they actually can't stand her. Like they think she's horrible.
I don't
I
know
don't agree
why.
with that personally, but
Yeah, I don't see it, but I mean, okay. Um, all right. While we are staying in the vein of the WWE, um, a lot of releases, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I said that when Triple H brought back AOP. Vince can do nothing with him, but he was, like I said before, about a year ago, whenever they came back, he's trying to show up, Vince, I can do better with what you couldn't do, and he couldn't. They flopped. They're big guys, strong guys, but they just don't have the right writers to write for them there, and it didn't work. And
Well,
unfortunately, that's part of the game.
well, here's the list: Elektra Lopez, Isla Dawn, Giovanni Vinci, who was a part of Imperium, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, the Authors of Pain, who you just mentioned, Paul Earling as well, Cedric Alexander, Blair Davenport. I can see Cedric ending up in AEW and joining the Hurt Business, just reforming there. Luke and Carl, they can go anywhere they want. They're established. They're good guys.
Mhm.
You know, but a lot of these releases, Sonya Deville as well was released as well.
That.
A lot of these guys weren't being used. To be honest, man, they were just taking up. Apart from Elektra Lopez, Isla Dawn, in my opinion, and Sonya Deville, those are the only guys that we had seen on TV in the last month or so. The rest of these guys haven't really been on television. They haven't really done anything. And, it's kind of disappointing because this is the second time Arthur the Pain Erling have been released. This is the third time or something that, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have been released. You want to know why? The main reason?
What's that?
Clearing space for the new talent coming up.
Well, in the wrestling, yeah, that could be why. But in the wrestling business, people come and go. But the thing is, I said it before, there's no need to bring back Gallows and Anderson. There's no need to bring back AOP or Karrion Kross or Hit Row. It was just them thumbing the nose at Vince saying, we can do better than you. We know what you're doing, old man. And it turns out they don't have a clue. And they're all released again. So,
well, dude, they got rid of them again. So,
that's what I mean. Yeah. So,
maybe they're learning something then, right? Maybe he is learning something. Maybe they are learning something from those mistakes. They got to kind of go through their own motions and kind of figure things out, right? I mean,
you can't keep everybody, man. I mean, no, I don't disagree with any of the cuts. I probably would have cut all those guys too.
Well, dude, like I said, apart from the three names that I mentioned, the rest of these guys have not been on TV at all, right? I mean, they've fumbled, they've just kind of stumbled along, and honestly, they're probably more present in catering than they are anywhere else.
Yeah. I could see Cedric in AEW.
Well, that's going to happen. I mean, all these guys are on 90 days. So, I mean, we won't probably see Cedric until late spring, right? Maybe May time. Where are we? February? So March, April, May. Yeah. So, 90-day complete causes. That's the one thing. If you're going to release these guys, just let them go. I mean, honestly, if you look at any of these names, outside of Cedric Alexander, none of these guys, even Cedric to that point, only because he could go to AEW, join Lashley's faction. None of these other guys really would make a difference wherever they go.
Not really, no.
Right? But the funny thing is what happens if some of these people sign with TNA?
It's possible too. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. That could be possible.
But you know what I'm saying with the partnership, right? That they have currently.
Yeah, it could happen.
That they have in place. All right, man. There's a lot that I want to talk to you about in AEW. We got WrestleMania. We know what's going on there. So I think we've kind of covered the bases with WWE for this week.
I think so.
First off, Tony Khan taking a lot of heat. I had made some notes here based on last week's, and I texted you while I was watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I noticed in that show, they keep promoting this pay-per-view in March when they are basically like that was the second, last week's episode was the second to last episode before this show that's happening in Australia, Grandslam.
Yeah.
Now, why wouldn't you have the graphics promoting that show?
What, the Grandslam show?
Well, the Grandslam show, there was no graphics. All you saw, during the matches and stuff, any banners that they had, whatever that show is, Full Revolver or whatever it is called in March, they keep advertising that. There's no card for it. There's nothing for it. But
this is what you're talking about on Dynamite.
On Dynamite.
Yeah.
Right? They keep having these graphics in the background for that. Shouldn't you have the Grand Slam graphics? That's the show coming up. The other thing that's been going wrong with this company is they kept saying it was a pay-per-view. Now it's a free TV show that they're putting on after the NBA All-Star game. So they're taking a lot of heat for saying it's a pay-per-view, then not saying it's a pay-per-view. It almost feels like this whole card is just riddled with a lot of I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Confusion and just misdirection.
Well, that's Tony Khan's fault because he's in the gorilla position. He should be telling Tony Schiavone either it's a pay per view or it's a free show, whatever it's going to be. Vince McMahon would never make that mistake, and that just goes to show you that Tony Khan just has a hard time cracking the whip on these guys because he wants to be their friend. And you could see, like you're pointing out, all the cracks in the armor because that should never happen. Either it's a free show, it's a pay per view. It's one or the other. How do you get that confused?
Yeah, but that's the issue here, right? And it's not helping them in any case as it is. I mean, people are already crapping on them like mad. I mean, the segue into what Seth was talking about. He said that nobody in AEW is on WWE's level.
Not true at all.
Well, I mean, a handful of guys perhaps could make it, but here's the deal. I think what he's saying here is, I'm going to read this to you, okay?
Yeah.
This is what he said verbatim. You'll make some headlines with this one. I don't think there's anybody in AEW that's on that level. You're probably looking at it if you're looking at it like LeBron, that's like a John Cena level guy. And
well, in that case, then Seth's not even on that level because there's not many guys on John Cena level, right?
Right, but that's what he means. Like, like top guys there. But how many guys outside of the W that haven't been in the system or brought up in some way have been fully successful coming from anywhere else? Only one person, a handful of guys that I can think of. One would be AJ Styles, who really did his own thing and, was able to create something very big in the WWE, right? If MGF comes, how big would he be?
Depends who writes the script with them and how they use them. So
Kenny Omega, how big could he actually become?
He's old and broken down now. The guy that would be a star, because this is the thing. There's so many hardcore indie fans watching WWE now. If you took Will Ospreay to Raw or SmackDown, he'd be a fan favorite within the first match. They'd love his style. Yeah. So Will could easily do it.
Will could easily do it, but I mean, he won't.
Kyle Fletcher too. They like that kind of style, right?
Right, but here's the thing with Will. He's had a lot of opportunities to come over to the WWE, but he didn't want to because he didn't want to do the travel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem with the younger talent, I feel, in AEW. And we've talked about this before. You've got to put the work in.
Supposed to.
Yeah. And AEW is kind of like very lazy that way. Like if you're there, you're making good money, but you're doing minimal work. You only have to show up.
It all starts at the top, right? Look at Tony Khan. There's no way he works 16 to 18 hours a day like Vince did. There's just no way he does. He probably works 5-6 hours a day, calls it a day, goes hangs with his buddies, watches Star Trek or whatever he's doing. So it all starts there. When these guys see how hard Vince works, he expects you to work hard too. And he demands that from you. He demands greatness. Tony doesn't demand anything from these guys.
And then Eric Bischoff.
And it cracks through on the show. Was that?
And Eric Bischoff as well in that same week. Last week late last week, he said that basically AEW is the toilet bowl of wrestling.
That's a little extreme, but I know what he means.
Yeah, but he's saying that people go there to die. Like people go there to kind of, have their career ended, sort of a deal. Like, I mean, I know that's a bit extreme, but
well, he's right in some ways. They take a lot of the older guys, like Daniel Bryan, Edge, Jericho. But Daniel Bryan still had some great matches there. Right?
No, he did.
We just gave him match of the year, right? But
look,
the majority, Eric's right.
The biggest names in AEW who had the most success are all former WWE guys,
except for Will. Yeah,
right. Like, I mean, think about it right now. Death Riders. That's Jon Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
He's the biggest thing going on in their company right now. At one point, Jericho was the biggest thing in the company, right? I mean, they we talk about WWE making stars. Who have they done? What have they made outside of MJF? What have they done?
If you want to consider Ospreay a star, I guess he's a star for them. I guess you could say Ospreay.
But Ospreay came from New Japan with fame from New Japan and everything else that he's done everywhere else before he came in.
No, right? I know, but Tony did is bring on the North American audience. When I was North America, I didn't know who he was, right?
Right. Also, Malachi Black. So Malachi Black is gone. Rusev is gone. Ricky Starks is gone. So, two of the guys that they brought in with a lot of fanfare and stuff totally fumbled. Miro, Rusev could have done great things there. They did, they could have done amazing stuff with Malachi. And I guarantee that dude will be back in WWE. All these guys could come right up now.
Probably because it seems that the new regime, like they have all their factions are dark. They had the authors. They have Authors of Pain. Whatever was that crew called? Testament.
Yeah.
They have Judgment Day is a dark faction. The
Judgment
Wyatt
Day is more of a
Six.
clown faction, man.
Well, now then they got the Wyatt Six. There's a lot of dark factions. So
See, Liv get cut up tonight, by the way, just bringing up the Judgment Day, man. In that opening match against Damage Control, she actually got a nice little cut up here on the top of her
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
eyebrow, man.
feeling that.
Oof. You don't see the girls getting color that often, but when you do, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you don't really want to have a girl with permanent scars all over them. Most girls don't want that.
No, they
Some
don't. But I
don't.
mean,
And I don't blame them.
at least it's on the eyebrow, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. So and yeah, and also yeah, Rob like said, yeah, AEW, they just need to hire better writers. If Tony Khan is smart, he is smart, but if he wants to get to the next level and be a viable second company, hire smart writers, hire some Hollywood guys, bring in the big dogs, let them write the script, you can get the final approval, have guys write these guys' promos, and really tighten up your ship.
Yeah, well, I mean, we keep saying it, we
Like, I
keep
don't get
seeing
it.
it.
There's
Well,
so many good writers out there. Bring some of these guys in, let them consult. Give me some ideas, dude, because your ideas are not working. So hear another voice, right?
after the Punk incidents and everything, he tried to create a management team and a backstage team. But everyone he's put in place, none of those guys have really made an
Thank you
impact
for
in
bringing that
any
up. How the
sense.
heck can Young Bucks be management backstage? No, they don't, they're not authority figures. You know what I mean? Like they're friends with the boys. So it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but dude, you know is better than anybody. Whoever has the money, yeah, they'll sit there and be friends with them and everything. But at the end of the day, the boys are the boys.
I know, but you got to control them.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
to fear your boss a little bit in the wrestling world. They don't fear Tony.
No, no,
You
no, no,
fear
no.
Vince, though. That's why you got. That's why he made the best product.
And speaking
So
of Vince, man, didn't he look great last night?
looked amazing. Yeah, I didn't even know he was going to be there, but yeah, he was there with Shane and Undertaker.
And you know what? It was strategic. Like we were talking about on the phone earlier, he could have had a box, he could have had a private suite, he could have done
Yeah.
anything he wanted to. He made a point of being seen in public,
Oh
man.
yeah, he knew camera would be on him. He knew that.
Yeah. And for 80 years old, man, check it out, man. He looked good. Like I
Oh
think
yeah,
he
he looks
looks
great.
better now than he did before.
Yeah,
Honestly. He
people
looks
realize like
healthier.
it's hard to keep that muscle at 80, but he also had that back surgery too, right? So
Yeah, yeah. But he just looks lean. He actually looks really good right
oh,
now.
he looks great.
Right? Like, I mean, that shirt, if that shirt tells us anything that he wore, he
Yeah,
looks really, really good.
yeah, he
All right.
does. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. So listen, man, we do have Grand Slam coming up this Saturday. So why don't we talk about it a little bit, break it
Yeah,
down?
let's do a little quick preview of it.
Yeah, quick preview of it. So AEW Women Championship match, Mariah May versus Tony Storm. I'm looking forward to this one just based on the storyline, just the way the arc, the whole amnesia angle, kind of separating them. But they're looking really good, man. I'm really looking forward to this match. Tony Storm is home in Australia, so that's a bit of added fuel. Mariah May won it in London, which was her hometown. I mean, it's predictable booking, but I would love to see Tony Storm win this. I would say Tony Storm for me.
I think so too. And it's time for how long has Mariah May had the belt for?
July or whenever that show when London was, September, July.
Yeah, so she's had it for a little bit now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And
this card only has 5 matches, but usually for Tony Khan, he goes way more than this. So I'm surprised.
well, I mean, if it's a TV show, right?
Yeah,
It's not a pay-per-view anymore, so I mean, he has to work within those constraints.
which might be a
Uh,
good thing for him to condense the show.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so next is the Brisbane Brawl. Cope, aka Edge, and Jay White versus the Death Riders, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro.
It's going to be a good match. I'll tell you right now. There's going to be a lot of color in this match. A lot of hard, stiff
This is gonna
chairs,
be very
ladders. I don't
stiff,
know what's going on.
very stiff. Actually, I'm surprised or Cope Edge is even in this match. I don't know.
Thanks for that, man. That sounds stupid. Why does he call himself Cope? Is he just trying to be like?
Well, his name is Copeland.
No,
So,
I know, but like Cope. Nobody's ever called you that before. Like call yourself
maybe in
Adam
high school and
Copeland or
stuff. Hey,
something.
Cope,
But
how you doing, buddy? I don't know. I
like,
mean,
dude,
I
you're
don't
50
know.
years old. Like, come on, man.
Kenny
But this should be a
Omega.
good match. Claudio's good. I mean, Moxley and Edge they're gonna bleed, and it's gonna be a
Well, you know
bloodbath
what? I'm gonna give it to the Death Riders.
to Jay White and Cope.
No, no, no. Death Riders, John
Oh,
Moxley
Moxley
and
and Claudio.
Cesaro.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
the
this
reason
one
being is it's just I look at Cope Edge. He's just
so
too
lame.
fragile, man. Like I don't know how much because these guys fight hard, right? Like this is the closest. These guys fight the closest to a real fight in wrestling that you can imagine.
Yeah, it's just slow, and he's 50 years old, but he still can take a good beating, so he's gonna get beat up pretty good in there. And
He can sell.
yeah, I
He
actually
can
think
sell.
I'm gonna go with Jay White and Cope on this. I think they're gonna take this one. It's hard to call, but it's gonna be a good match. If
I
you like
mean,
the hardcore stuff,
if you want to please the fans, yeah, you're right. But I would think you just keep it with the Death Riders just to build up that animosity more. Because I mean, I think what we're going to end up getting here is I can't call him Cope. We're going to get Edge
okay,
versus John Moxley at some point, right? So this would be a good way to kind of build
that
that,
is the match to make. Absolutely.
right? So I think I'm going to stick with my Death Rider pick. All right, man. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay versus
Kyle Fletcher,
Takeshita and
Takashita,
Kyle Fletcher.
yeah, Don Callis family tag
Um,
match.
Kenny and Will.
Yeah, this is a powerhouse team because they have to win this match. But this is going to be a good match, dude. This is going to be the on paper. It's got to be match of the night, you'd assume, right? Like
Yeah.
this is a good match. I'm looking forward to this match actually. So yeah, it's got to be
No,
Will and Kenny. We'll see if they have any good chemistry together in AEW. This is their first time tagging in AEW, so we'll
yeah.
see what they can do together.
No, 100%. And I mean, based on the matches those two have had in the past, I mean, I recommend anybody going back to watch any of their matches in New Japan. Phenomenal. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. Um, the AEW Continental Championship match, Okada bitch versus Buddy Matthews, the husband of current WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley.
This honestly is probably the match I'm looking least forward to. I just, I mean, I like Buddy Matthews or what do they
He's got
call
a
him in
great
WWE?
physique, man.
Oh, he's in great shape. I love it. What was his name in WWE? Buddy Murphy.
Uh, Buddy something, right?
Buddy Murphy, I think.
Buddy Murphy, yeah.
Yeah, this should be. I mean, it'll be all right. I don't know. We'll see what they can do together. But Okada's going to retain. He just won that big tournament. I don't think they take it from him already. So
Well,
I
you
got
know what?
Okada.
I don't know, man. Why Buddy Matthews at home. If this is the match that you want to give the fans to something to cheer about, you give the title to the hometown
Yeah,
boy here,
it'd be a huge pop.
right? So I want to go Buddy Matthews just because of what I just said.
Could be right. Could be right. I just think that Okada just got the belt a couple months ago. They take it from him already.
Well,
Maybe.
he's had it for a while. It has nothing to do with that. He already had that title. That was some other tournament that he won. He's held this belt for a bit now.
Didn't he win the tournament? Didn't he win this belt in that tournament?
He retained it. He was already champion going in.
Oh, was he? Okay,
Yeah,
maybe you're
yeah.
right. But okay, I don't know
Yeah,
how long he's had it.
he's had it for a while. I can't put a timestamp on it, but I know it wasn't just one in that tournament. I mean, he's held that thing for a bit. He had it when he was with the Young Bucks and the Young Bucks were still there.
Okay.
And
There's too many belts in AEW. That's I mean, AEW. What's a Continental Championship? The other
I don't
Intercontinental
know
belt?
their version of it.
Yeah. Okay. So
TBS Women's Championship match. Mercedes Monet, the girl who's kind of turned it around. I can't find anything bad to say about her
no,
now.
she's had some awesome matches lately, dude.
Hey, her matches are great, but she shouldn't talk.
Yeah. No, she needs. That's what I'm saying. So why can't Tony Khan hire a writer to write her a good promo?
I
Like
don't know, dude.
she performs well in the ring. We gave her female match of the year, so
Yeah.
she can bring it in the ring. So now all she needs to learn to do is how to talk. So hire a promo writer for her, not yourself, Tony, and
Well,
at least up her game a bit.
maybe he needs his dad to kind of give him some more money to do that because he's dumping his money into everything else.
I don't know what he's doing,
Dude,
man. But
I think at the end of the day, okay, quickly here, she's fighting Harley Cameron, a girl who's made her name in Japan, just kind of joined the roster. I don't know too much about her, but from what I've seen, she can move. So Mercedes probably wins this, obviously.
yeah, no, Mercedes she's just doing phenomenal matches right now.
Yeah.
She's the best women's wrestlers they have there in ring at least. So they're not taking it off for Harley Cameron or Haley Cameron. Or I don't even know which.
Honestly, you know what I would love to see here eventually? I would like to see Mercedes and Tony Storm cross paths here.
I think they're on a collision course
They
eventually.
have to. They have to. Because what should be the bigger title in terms of prestige? The World Women's Championship or basically a TV champion?
I don't know how Tony ranks them. That's the
Right?
thing with him. Their titles are so I don't know. But yeah, this is easy. This is easy. Mercedes Monet is going to win this one easily.
Right. So, like I said, this is going to be on TBS or TNT in the States, TSN in Canada after the All-Star game, I guess. It's the All-Star game this weekend?
Yeah.
Right. So, after the All-Star game, this pay-per-view comes on or TV special.
Honestly, it's not bad for a free show. Like, it's pretty, like, you get
But
Omega
what
and
time's the
All-Star together.
NBA
It's pretty
game end?
good. What's that?
What time's the NBA end? Like, what time would that
So
game start?
that's gonna be the skills contest. Is this AEW on Sunday or Saturday? It's on Sunday.
After the, yeah, after the game.
Okay, so like what, 6 o'clock?
So it's 9 o'clock in the East
Yep.
on a Sunday. That's a horrible time, man.
That's when they usually used to pay-per-views back in the day at that time, right?
No, no, no. It would start at 4 or 7 o'clock at least. This is 9 o'clock. It's starting.
Yeah, Eastern times, but I mean, it's only a 2 hour show, right? So
No, 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 I get it, but it's a look, dude. All I'm saying, it's a school night, blah blah blah, kind of a deal. Like, I mean, who's going to be able to stay up and watch?
all the hardcore marks stay up for AEW, dude. They love it. They don't care.
Fair
They,
enough.
they
Fair
love
enough.
their stuff. But I know what you're saying. But yeah, usually All-Star games starts about 3 and about 6.
Okay. Look, man. I don't want to be that guy constantly shitting on AEW, but they're not giving me anything to work with to say anything good. Like, I mean, I'm watching the show more and more, and the more I watch it, the more I realize like there's just so many issues there. Not so much with the talent. The talent's doing the best that they can, but just just it's just the inner workings of it, like not promoting the current pay-per-view and promoting a show that you don't even have a card for.
That might have been a flub on Shivani though.
How's that a flub on Shivani? He doesn't control the graphics.
No, I know, but maybe him saying that he messed it up. I don't know. They should have more graphics.
Well,
But
no, even on their webpage though, it says pay-per-view. It has nothing to do with Tony.
no, I didn't catch that. I didn't see that. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many cracks in WWE and in AEW nowadays. There's too many shows on both companies, and there's too many belts. And when you have so many shows and so much belts, you get watered down talent on both ends who would never be on the show if we just had one show a week. So
And the best and the best show that AEW has is Collision, in my opinion, and no one watches it.
They only get a couple 100,000 on that one,
Oh,
yeah.
but the best stuff happens there.
I still like Dynamite a little better, but yeah, Collision's not bad.
All right, brother, man. I tell you what, let's wrap this puppy up. I think we got everything we need to say here. But hey, before we go, I want to wish you a happy anniversary, my friend.
Yeah, we got 3 years we've been doing this show. It's been
Yeah.
well.
This February the 14th will mark the 3-year mark for Samp&Chance. We want to say thank you to everyone that's been on the show, that supported us, that's subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Thank you all. 3 years, man. It feels like yesterday.
Goes by fast, dude. We've had some good guests on there. We've had some good conversations, good debates. We've talked to people I never thought I'd ever get to talk to. And yeah, it's been really good. And we're just getting started, man. That went by so fast.
And we're getting better and better and better in every day, man.
Absolutely.
All right, Chance. I tell you what, man. You got anything you want to talk about, or are we good?
I think we covered the world of wrestling, man, and covered it all. AEW, WWE. We talked a little bit about Vinnie Mac and the Super Bowl looking good. Shane O'Mac was there. Had Vince look better than Shane? It looks like Shane's put in a couple pounds. There's a side view of him. I don't know. But
well, no, I saw that. Shane looks a little soft in the midsection area.
Yeah, well, he's smart. He's keeping close to Daddy, and Daddy's got the Bucks. So hey, I don't blame the guy. We would all do the same.
Well, I can't wait to see what Vince is coming out with. Like I told you, man, him being seen on TV like that, considering everything that's going on in his world
He's coming up with something soon.
He's got something coming out. He wanted to be seen.
Yep.
Right. And the Undertaker's still supporting him. So everyone, like really, I think I'm not condoning the things that people say he did, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was consensual.
I know. Yeah.
I'm sorry. If it was the other way, you and I were not afraid to call the spade a spade.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right. But I think you and I are in agreement when we say, yeah, the allegations don't look pretty. The things that they say that took place aren't really nice.
Yeah, no, he definitely did some bad things, absolutely.
But they were all consensual. I don't know if that's a justification, but how can you get mad at someone when the other person's saying okay?
Yeah. He was definitely a sick bastard in some of those texts and some of the things he was saying. He has a sick mind, I guess, when it comes to the sexual side of things. But the guy is the he's a genius businessman. He's the greatest booker of all time. He's the greatest script writer. We can go on and on and on. The guy's he's a genius.
The more and more we see, the more we realize what he did.
Oh yeah, he ran a tight ship, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of like, when a guy comes back after a long time, you're really happy to see them again. You miss them,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So I hope they bring him back into the fold somehow.
Oh, they can't. Ari won't do it.
Question is, do you think he even watches?
Oh yeah. You guys
You
remember
think
what
he still
Triple H
watches?
said? Triple H
Huh?
said he went and had dinner with him, remember?
No.
They asked him, what did he say? Oh, he's happy with the product. He's not going to actually say what he said. Maybe he is. I don't know. But I think he watches because he created this, right? You know how Vince is. He's always thinking, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not every show, but I think he watches the big ones.
There you go. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call this a show. My name is Bobby Sampson. He is Mr. Chance Michaels.
In the words of the great AC/DC, those that like, download, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. April 20th in Vancouver, BC Place.
22nd.
22nd. 22nd, sorry. They're going to be here. So if you're in Vancouver, you can make it out. Go check out that
This
show.
is the last time. They're not coming back again out of their stage. This is
should be a good one. Should be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I've been saying it. It's February. It's February. So let's just keep it going. The mantra for 2025: patience, hard work, and faith. You have those three ingredients in your life, you will achieve your goals.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, people are going to shit on your dreams. People are going to shit on your ambition because they're too afraid to step up to the plate and take that shot themselves. So don't let anyone deter you from what you believe in and what you love. If you love something and you're passionate about it, have patience, have faith, and work hard at it, and you will achieve your goals. Samp&Chance are out.